She's with her wife, and she's going to share a few words from Hartford Deportation Defense, and we're going to share more about what the exact situation is currently, and then we have some words from elected officials. And we appreciate your support. We also have some words from advocates. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for coming out and showing support. I think this is really crazy. It's ridiculous. I think Wazaro needs to be released, and they need to give her back to her family and her community. She does have a pardon. Her pardon is valid. She has no record. The state of Connecticut is saying that it's not valid in the state of Connecticut without an executive signature or coming from executive administrative. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's fair. I don't think anyone thinks that's fair. And we need to do something about this. We need to stop this as soon as possible before it be another family out here feeling how I feel right now. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I'm so sad. Taz is so sad. Our child is so sad. This is ridiculous. We need to do something. We are going to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to make something happen. We're going to make a change. We need that. Yeah. Everyone needs that. I can't thank you guys enough. Wazaro's been going through this for quite some time now. I think it's time for it to be over. And we're going to do what we can to make sure this is over. Thank you guys.
Woo, woo! No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state.
No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state. No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state. No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state. No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state. No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state.
All right. So like I said, we're with Hartford Deportation Defense. I'm going to read off a statement that we wrote together. We're here to support Wazaro, Tamika, and Isaiah, but we're also here so that this doesn't continue to happen in our community, so that we're not having to stand here again with another family here in Hartford or in another part of our state. What's happening right now could happen to anybody in our immigrant community all over Connecticut, and it's actually something that ICE is claiming that cannot happen in any other state in the country, and we will not allow that. Yesterday, Wazaro and Tamika drove 13 hours from North Carolina to be sure to get back in time for Wazaro's check-in with ISAP, which is around the corner, and they're pretty much prioritized ICE. She has never missed a check-in, has been compliant all along, goes every other Tuesday to check on the ankle bracelet, the ankle monitor that they put on her. She wants to live here with Tamika and her daughter in Hartford, Connecticut, and she does everything ICE has asked her to do. At her check-in, without warning or provocation, ISAP called ICE officials to transfer her to the federal building behind us, and they very quickly, pretty much immediately, transferred her to immigration detention in Massachusetts. We rushed over here. We did everything we could. This all caught us by surprise. We thought her case was in the good position to keep fighting. We're actually planning a meeting to organize community support yesterday. Her lawyer rushed over here. She was able to talk to lead counsel from ICE yesterday, and we were able to get a sense of what they're claiming makes or justifies Wazaro's arrest. We, of course, will not take that as an answer, and we do not agree that they have any right to do that at this point. Her lawyer doesn't agree. There's a team of lawyers that don't agree, and you'll see there's many people here today who don't agree that they have the right to do that at this point. They have no basis to deport her. She has received a full and absolute pardon from the state of Connecticut. She came to the U.S. from England when she was a small child with her family and was a permanent legal resident of this country. Hartford is her only home. Yesterday, Waisaro's attorney told ICE officials about her absolute pardon and showed them proof. They refused to honor it. Though ICE has recognized pardons in other states, ICE challenged the validity of Connecticut pardons specifically. We know, too, that this may have nothing to do with the pardon. This is ICE doing their usual bullshit, being ruthless, terrorizing our community. We saw it yesterday. We see it every day. We see it all the time in Hartford, and we see it all over the state and all over the country. The aim of this agency that we fund with our public dollars, that Congress just voted to expand, is to terrorize our community. Our hearts are heavy today as our friend or neighbor is locked up in Massachusetts. Her daughter, a sophomore in high school, needs her more now than ever. We need her. Her daughter is in school in West Hartford. We need her in our community. In unity, we demand that Waisaro be released from detention immediately and reunited with her family.
Yes.
We further assert that Waisaro and all people in Connecticut have the full legal and civil rights of the people of the United States and should not face a greater risk of deportation.
Yes.
We are not apart from the rest of this country. No one anywhere should be subject to ruthless government terror. ICE terrorizes our people, separates our family, and we will not stand by in silence as this happens. So thank you all for coming, and today and tomorrow, and we keep fighting. Thank you.
Woo!
No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state.
No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state. No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state. No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state.
Like I said, it is a problem that's particular to Connecticut. It's particular to Hartford because it's affecting a Hartford family right now. Immigration is an issue that does not only affect the Latino community, it affects all of our communities. It's a Black issue, it's an LGBTQ issue, it's an issue that affects us all. And here to give some words of support is Mayor Bronin from the city of Hartford.
I can talk loud. Can everybody hear me? Then come closer. Let's just start with the facts here. This is a woman who came to the United States as a child, who is a permanent legal resident of the United States, who is married to an American citizen, who has a child who is an American citizen, who made some mistakes, but has received a full pardon under Connecticut law. Any other state's pardon would be respected by the federal government and would not be considered as a grounds for deportation. ICE and the federal government are saying that because a board of pardon and parole appointed by the governor, a board of professional members appointed by the governor to review in detail each case on its merits and decide whether it deserves a pardon, that because we have that system instead of the sole discretion of the governor, that our pardons don't count. And because of that, ICE has locked up an American resident, a permanent legal resident, married to an American citizen with an American child resident in this city. Doing that makes nobody safer, doesn't make any community stronger. It makes absolutely no sense, and it's an offense to the state of Connecticut. Our pardons mean just as much as any other state's pardon, and what it means is that any record is erased. That the judgment has been that this is a woman deserving of a full and complete pardon, meaning any mistakes should not be considered by ICE as they look at this case. So this is a question both of, the broader policy, that ICE is pursuing, and making this point that we make again and again and again, that targeting residents who don't pose any threat to anybody makes nobody safer, makes no community stronger, and makes no sense. But it also is about a basic respect for Connecticut law. And in Connecticut law, Wazaro Walton has received a full and absolute pardon. That pardon should be fully and absolutely respected by the federal government of the United States.
Yeah, right, yes. Woo! Woo-hoo! Keep Wazaro home! 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 Woo-hoo!
Reparations for Hartford, Luke.
Yes, reparations. All right, Senator Sotera is also here in support of Wazaro and her family, and he's also going to share a few words with us.
Sure. I don't know Wazaro, but all of us are Wazaro today. All of us. I can't imagine any of us, anyone in this country, where the power of government can come and take you away. This is someone who has shown up every time, every day she was required to. Someone who wears an ankle bracelet. Think about that. Think about that if that were you in your life or someone in your family. As the mayor just said, our process is no different than any other states. The Connecticut legislature, signed by the governor, created this process. It was not an edict by anyone but the democratic process in Connecticut that we decided to give the power of the pardon to the Board of Pardons. I commit today to you, and I will be going to the Capitol today, we are in session, to bring this to every one of my colleagues, and to ask the Attorney General to reinforce that our law is in place. We don't have to change anything. It has the force of law just like every other state. And we will make that clear in every way possible going forward. Thank you.
We elect officials so that they fight for the things that matter to us. So what they're doing at the Capitol is actually exactly that. That is like who they're serving. They're serving us. And it is important that we're all talking to our elected officials, speaking up, coming out on the street, and making sure that people know what we care about and what matters in our community, so that people at the Capitol are hearing us loud and clear and are fighting for what actually matters to us. I want some community advocates to talk, but I actually didn't check with them to see if they wanted to talk. I got some people. I know my friends from ULA, from Unidad Latina en Acción, will come through to say a few words. They've been on the front lines for many years, fighting for the rights of our immigrant community. And I believe someone from ULA is here. Maybe no one from ULA is here. Alok! Sierra! Connecticut Immigrant Rights Alliance! Yay! Okay, so Connecticut Immigrant Rights Alliance is a coalition of immigrant rights organizations. Hartford Deportation Defense is part of it. ULA, that I was mentioning, is part of it. And Sierra is also at the front lines, has been at the front lines for as long as I can remember in our state, fighting for the rights of our immigrant people. So, Halok.
I'm really sick of coming here. I think instead of us coming here, they need to get the fuck out. It's really aggravating that ICE is refusing to respect this bit of Connecticut law that actually does do something to protect our community members, while at the same time frequently collaborating with the state systems that we fund to do the same sort of destruction to our communities. while we have some representatives from the state legislature here, just to remind them that, you know, Taz herself could have benefited from a law that we're fighting for in the state capitol right now that would have made it so that her previous convictions, her mistakes that she probably shouldn't even ever had on her record, wouldn't have led her to lose her status that got her in this position in the first place. We want to make sure that our state and local police are not collaborating with ICE in any sort of way. If ICE isn't able to respect the laws of our community, they shouldn't be able to use our systems to do their damage to our community. So we need a strong trust act to make sure our state and local systems, our law enforcement agencies are not in any way collaborating or communicating with ICE. We need to make sure that our penal systems are not funneling people. We need to break the prison to deportation pipeline. And we need to keep coming out for Taz, Mika, their daughter. We need to come out for all of our families, all of our community members. Because they're doing this to all of our families and all of our community members. So no exceptions, no loopholes, no nothing. We're going to keep here. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting to get ICE out of Connecticut. We're going to keep fighting to make sure all of our community members stay. We're going to keep fighting to make sure Waysaro stays. And that's that. Thank you.
We're fighting today by being here. We fought from the moment we heard this was happening. We rushed over here. Everybody we knew started making phone calls. Everybody who knew somebody started calling, trying to reach the governor's office, trying to get some sense of why this was happening. And Waysaro's attorney actually, rushed over here, and once she was able to talk to ICE lead counsel, she had to come up with a plan for litigation, and she actually has a team of lawyers assisting her in research, and this morning they're doing a few things to help fight what's happening right now. So there's actually a law in motion to do that this morning as we are here standing today. So thank you all for showing up. I don't know if anybody else is going to say something. I think I have Jesus Morales Sanchez here with us. He's a community member in New Haven. Been fighting for immigrant rights for a really long time, and he's been the person with this megaphone here in our place many, many times. We've been here supporting him, and he's here to support us today in the name of his community.
Okay, yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
I know it's cold, so I'll try to be very as brief as possible. I'm standing here today. Who knows how many times I've stood here with a log with many of you in the cold, in the rain, under the sun. And it is just as heartbreaking as the first time, just as heartbreaking as the second, just as heartbreaking as the 30th time. That we're here demanding dignity, that we're demanding fair treatment, that we're demanding our humanity to be acknowledged. We're demanding this damn system to understand that this is not just a case. What they're doing today to Waysaro and to the many other families that are walking into this building in this very moment, it's inhumane. What they're doing is horror, terrorizing families, separating them. And we just cannot remain silent. I know it's exhausting, and I've felt burnt out at times. But we do not have the luxury of saying, not today. Because guess what? The day that we say not today is the day that they take everything away from us. I'm here as a queer Latino man making a call. I'm calling out on those who are not here today. I'm making a call to my fellow queer people. Because it is not enough that we fought for marriage in this damn country. It is not enough. We need to show up for one another. We need to show up for all the struggles. Because guess what? Us queer people are everywhere. And right now, we're in need of our community.
Yes.
I'm asking my Latino folks to show up for Huesaro and the many other African American people who are going through this. Because guess what? Immigration is also a black issue. We're so used to having the face of immigration be us Latinos that we forget that our community as immigrants does not know borders. It knows no race and ethnicity. Our struggle as immigrants is far greater than whatever they could ever possibly understand. And so much more powerful and beautiful. So I'm calling upon my people to really step up. And to all of you who are here today, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And I'm really hoping that I can see you and that you can continue marching on with us. Because this is a fight that concerns us all. So thank you very much.
No fear, no hate, no ICE in our state.
No fear.
No hate, no ICE in our state.
No fear. No hate. No ICE in our state. No fear. No hate. No ICE in our state. No fear. No hate. No ICE in our state.
Hi, everybody. I'm outraged to have to be here again. A few months ago, we were celebrating because we thought it was a moment to celebrate. We had passed the pardon for Huesaro, and we thought that she was safe and she could be with her family. Yet here we are again, completely unexpectedly. Huesaro was in compliance, doing what she was supposed to do, checking in, and next thing you know, she's being taken away in handcuffs, and it's unacceptable. My name is Camille. I'm here with Connecticut Students for a Dream, and I work with high school students. I work with high school students around the state who are afraid that their parents might come home and not come back to them. Huesaro is a mom. Huesaro has a daughter who is a senior in high school right now, and she's a sophomore in high school right now. I apologize. She's a sophomore in high school right now, and I mean, to have to go through her day without her mom at her side. And this is a situation that high school students, middle school students, elementary school students are having to face every day because of the people who work in this building. Right? These are human beings doing this. Somebody had the discretion. Somebody made the decision. You know, they make it seem like, oh, this is what's on paper. This is the protocol we have to follow. But that isn't true. That was somebody's discretion. A human being made the choice to separate Huesaro, separate Taz from her family, from her child. And that is unacceptable. That's not the society I want to live in. That's not the society that any of us are here for. And so it's important that we keep showing up, because if we're not here, if we're not showing up, if we're not together, this is happening on, first off, for those who pay taxes, it's happening on our dime. This is happening on our watch. So it's really important that we stay together, keep families together, keep mothers with their babies, keep fathers with their children. I know we have a family right now in New Haven that has been in sanctuary for over a year. This is happening all around the state. Families are being ripped apart. It's not just happening at the border, it's happening right here. Okay? And it's unacceptable. I know that's why we're all here. That's why we're all showing up today. Because we're not just going to allow this to happen. We're fighting. Okay, so what do we do when our communities are under attack?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do when mothers are under attack?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do when families are under attack?
Stand up, fight back!
Keep Huesaro home!
Keep Huesaro home! Keep Huesaro home! Keep Huesaro home! Keep Huesaro home! Keep Huesaro home! Keep Huesaro home! Keep Huesaro home!
All right, all. It's cold. We're tired. We're fighting, though. We're fighting hard. Please post on Facebook. Tell your people. We're not sure exactly what the next step like I said, we'll keep you posted on what's happened on the legal end. There's so much going on and so many people working together to fight this. We have to move super fast because, like I mentioned at the beginning, Wazaro is in detention in Massachusetts, and we know ICE does not give a fuck for our community. So we're very worried right now. We need everybody to be worried with us and enraged with us and standing up with us and posting online, calling your friends, but most importantly, calling your, anybody you know in state government, your elected officials, to make sure that they assert the power of this pardon that was a full, absolute pardon that was granted by the Connecticut Board of Pardons, and should keep Wazaro from being deported and from being detained and caged at this very moment as we stand here. Thank you all for coming, and fuck ICE.